What's going on, guys? Going back into another video, and today is a different type of video. It's not necessarily a ranking, it's kind of just going through a certain category of films. If you guys are on Letterboxd, make sure you follow me on Letterboxd at Fanatic15 first off. I have a list on there. You guys know I have a movie rating system, and I'm very, very specific about how I rate certain movies, what movies are good, what movies I think are bad, and what movies get that very elusive 100 out of 100. So today what I thought I would do is go through what I like to call the 100 Club. The movies that I have rated 100 out of 100, talk a little bit about them, and just kind of celebrate the movies that I personally believe are 100s out of 100s. They knock it out of the park every time, and we will talk about them. But guys, thank you so much for taking the time to click on the video, liking, commenting, subscribing. All of that means the absolute world. If you enjoy anything that you're seeing here today, please consider dropping a subscription, like, comment. Let me know down below in the comments, what did you think of the movies that I gave a 100 out of 100? Do you agree? Do you disagree? What movies do you think you would give 100 out of 100? I would also love to talk about that down below in the comments. But I think without further ado, let's just hop right into it. There are 8 films that I have given 100 out of 100. There is one that is a little bit of an exception. We'll get into that one first because it's not technically a feature-length film. But again, guys, thank you so much for taking the time to click on the video, and let's hop into it. So the first one we're talking about today is The Last Dance, the documentary about Michael Jordan, 1998 Chicago Bulls, and the entire history of the Jordan era. What can you really say about this? I mean, it's literally, I personally believe, the perfect sports documentary. 10-part series, unprecedented access, amazing interviews. Now, current day, looking back at the past, you have fantastic storytelling, amazing direction, all throughout the board. It is a fantastic documentary. I mean, there's literally nothing to complain about this documentary. It's so interesting to get this behind-the-scenes look at this godlike figure that is Michael Jordan. People idolize this man, and this is a very unsolicited, just first-hand look at who he really was and who this Bulls team really was. And it shows that these people aren't perfect. And that was one thing that I really, really liked and respected about this film, is that it dove into big issues and deep issues, and it showed that, yes, these players were held like deities on the court. They were not perfect. The next one we are going to talk about is The Wolf of Wall Street, the epic film from Martin Scorsese. The first time I saw this film, I had an experience. Like, this was an experience. It was 3 hours of absolute mayhem and chaos. Fantastic performances by both Leo, Jonah Hill, Matthew McConaughey. Margot Robbie's absolutely fantastic in this film. The performances are great. Scorsese directs a heck of a movie here. This is my favorite Scorsese movie of them all. Like, this is literally it. And you don't feel the runtime with this film. I felt the runtime with Goodfellas. I felt the runtime with The Irishman. I did not feel the runtime here with The Wolf of Wall Street. It's hilarious, it's shockingly real, and it tackles a very interesting subject. And that was all stuff that I really, really liked and was intrigued with. And yes, it's very raunchy and it's very inappropriate at times, but it's real. And I think Martin directed a heck of a movie. I think Leo gave a heck of a performance. I love this film. I know a lot of people in the community really, really enjoy this film. And it got 100 for me. It was really dang good. The next one we're going to talk about is Arrival. I did a review of it earlier this year. Go check it out if you have not already. Denis Villeneuve directs an amazing film. You've got great performances by Amy Adams, Jeremy Renner, just to name a few. The entire cast is amazing. But the thing that is the most amazing is just the story and how it is written, and the plot twist at the end. I'm not going to spoil the plot twist, but the plot twist at the end and how it all ties together, and just the shock value. and the way that the story is told to throw you off of the path of the end. It blew my mind. Yes, I did watch it right after I got my wisdom teeth pulled out, so maybe I had a bit of an experience, but I was pretty much in my right mind, and that was an amazing ending, an amazing twist. This movie is a masterclass, really, of directing. Denis Villeneuve directs an amazing film that is just literally out of this world. Literally out of this world. And it was just so unique in what it was telling. The story and the plot are fantastic. And it's such an amazing movie. I think it's a perfect movie. 100 out of 100. Absolutely fantastic. And that's another one that I really, really enjoyed. Then we move on to The Social Network. Now, I remember watching this movie a long time ago, and I thought it was all right. I thought it was pretty good. But that was before I was really into film, and I wasn't really watching and paying attention. I just recently rewatched it. And I really watched it for the first time, because I don't think I'd ever seen the entire movie. This is just a fantastic movie. Jesse Eisenberg is fantastic. Andrew Garfield gives probably the best performance of his career. Justin Timberlake actually gives a pretty good performance as well. The directing's amazing. The way they told the story was great. The storytelling was awesome. It made you want to hate Mark Zuckerberg. It really did. And it was just a very candid, open story about how Facebook started. Facebook's one of the most successful companies of all time. And to see how it started in some dorm room at Harvard is amazing. And the way that was all shown was incredible. Storytelling's awesome. It's fantastic. The direction, technically, all of that is amazing. It's just a dang good movie. And I really enjoyed it. It should have won the Oscar in 2010. That's all I'm going to say. Whatever. But in general, it's one of the best movies of the decade. It really does, and it's going to stand the test of time, and it's fantastic. Next one we're going to talk about is Whiplash. Wow, Damien Chazelle, what a movie. I also did a review of this one as well, so go check it out if you have not already. The use of music in this movie as a character on its own is amazing. You get a career best performance out of Miles Teller, and I would argue a career best performance out of, what's his name? J. Jonah Jameson. What's his name? J.K. Simmons. I'm so stupid. You get a arguably greatest performance of his career by J.K. Simmons. I'd say it's the greatest performance of his career. It earned him an Oscar, for gosh sakes. Denis Villeneuve directed a heck of a movie. It elicited so many emotions. The story is amazing and real. It's not based off a true story, but it's real though. Being someone that was in music for a long time, it was real. Maybe not to the extreme point, but it was real. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. It was Uncut Gems equivalent of anxiety in you, elicited that emotion the entire time. Before Uncut Gems, there was Whiplash. And this movie is just fantastic. The music is great. The performances, the directing, the story, the emotions, all of it. Perfect. Damien Chazelle, my favorite. I would go out on a limb and say potentially tied for first place with my favorite director right now. I would say tied with Christopher Nolan. But they are both fantastic. This movie is incredible. My jaw was on the floor by the end of this film. It was absolutely amazing. We have 3 movies left to talk about, and the next one we're talking about is literally the one right here. We're talking about La La Land. This movie, I have actually talked about it. I did a review of it last week, so make sure you check it out if you have not already. This movie did something to me. I don't know what it did, but it literally emotionally changed me. And I watched it a few weeks ago, and I'm still feeling it. This movie is amazing. Music's great. The musical numbers are fantastic. They are awesome. But the thing, direction's great, performances are great, but the thing that really does it for me is this love story. It is, I believe, the perfect love story. And a lot of you will disagree with me a lot because of how the movie ends. But I'm going to have a video later in the year. It's going to take a little bit of while because I'm going to do a long form video essay with a lot of editing on why La La Land is the perfect love story. The perfect love story of any film. Look forward to that because that is coming later in the year. But that alone is amazing. Showing the Hollywood LA dream is amazing. Like, it literally, I felt like I was in LA, in California at that time. And LA in Hollywood is one of my favorite places in the world. Like, if I could live there forever, I would live there forever. This movie is incredible. The sequences are amazing. The music's amazing. Performance, directing, script, writing, everything is divine. It is amazing. I had just such an amazing reaction with this film. And it got 100 out of 100. We got 2 more films left to talk about. The next one is Inception. Talked about Damien Chazelle being one of my favorite directors of all time. My other favorite is Christopher Nolan. Inception is a masterfully done movie. It is an event. It is an epic. It deserves for everyone to watch and appreciate and enjoy. It's such an amazing concept. It really is. And I've never seen something like that executed before. Nolan directs a masterful movie. It is masterfully shot, masterfully edited. All of that technically is a masterpiece. The performances are stunning. They are fantastic. Leo is amazing. And the suspense and emotion are great. A lot of that, again, has to do with the directing and the story. The story is amazing. The way it's executed, the way it's written is all perfect. I could not ask for it to be any other way. Any other way. I right when we jump into this movie, I am in it till the end. And I am sucked into this world. And that is something that shows really good filmmaking and really good movie making. Is if you jump into this film and you are sucked in until the end, nothing else matters. That is what this film does. It's a masterpiece. I think a lot of people will agree with me on that one. It is amazing. 100 out of 100. Welcome to the 100 Club. And last but not least, my final 100 Club member is Avengers Endgame. The perfect conclusion, first off. I think you have amazing performances in here from multiple characters. I think the directing by the Russo brothers is really, really well done. I really do. Yes, are there some flaws with the writing? Yes. But I don't really knock them for that. Because they had a way they wanted to go, and they went with it full force. And they took it, and you just did it. That is why I'm not knocking the writing, because no, everyone's going to say the time travel and all of that, and I understand that. I do. I completely get it. But they knew what they were doing, and they just took it and went with it and rolled with it. And that is something that I really respect and really like about it. They could have been very self-aware, and they could have said, oh my gosh, this doesn't make any sense, this isn't working. And they made some jokes about it. They did. But they still went with it. And they stuck to it, and they went with it, and I appreciate that, and I respect that. The final act, it speaks for itself. The character moments are great. The way you tie up certain plots and character arcs are amazing. And overall, I think it's 100 out of 100. But guys, that is pretty much it. Let me know down below in the comments, what would you rate 100 out of 100? Do you think I missed some? Do you think I put some in that don't deserve it? Again, it's my personal opinion. Film is subjective, but if you want to talk about that, let's have a conversation down in the comments. There are some movies that aren't on here that you think deserve it. They are probably in the 98, 99 range. Look, I don't give 100s lightly. I don't. All the movies on here, most people agree are masterfully done and are amazing. Most of these movies, people it's pretty much across the board, people agree. So I don't really feel like I had too many outlandish things to say. So let's talk about it down in the comments. But guys, that's pretty much it. Thanks so much for taking the time to click on the video, like and comment and subscribe it. All that means the absolute world. If you enjoyed, please consider dropping a subscription. Let's grow this community. Let's have some fun. Guys, that's pretty much it. Have a rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next video.